Phuket is one of the most stunning islands in the whole of Thailand. But you do not want to waste your time in Phuket staying in crappy hotels, getting ripped off by scam artists, or getting stuck in tourist traps that don't show you the real beauty of the island. I visited the island many times over the last few years, and I made a lot of these mistakes myself. In this video, I'll show you everything I wish I knew before visiting Phuket. Expect to find out the tourist traps you need to avoid, how to stay safe on the island, and how to avoid overpaying for hotels. Don't let your dream trip start with a nightmare. Getting from the airport to your hotel can be a right pain in the ass that can end up adding hours onto your trip. The first time I arrived in Phuket, I left the airport and negotiated a taxi drop-off at my hotel for around 200 baht, which originally I thought was a good deal. What I didn't realize was that I had to wait for the van to fill up, which meant I had to wait another hour, which is not what I wanted after a long flight. The drive from the airport to most beaches is over an hour at the best of times. But now we had to drop off everyone else, some of whom were staying in places completely out of the way, added another few hours onto my journey. The next time I decided to take a private car, but ended up having to haggle and got overcharged. Nowadays, I just order airport pickup online and have someone waiting for me, which saves hours. But the question I get asked the most about Phuket is which is the best beach to stay on, and rightly so. A lot of the beaches in Phuket have completely different vibes from each other, and you need to choose the one that's the right fit for you. If you're coming for a relaxing beach holiday, you probably don't want to stay next to the red light district. So here's a quick rundown of the most popular beaches to stay on and what they're all about. If you're looking for a party vibe with lots to do, Patong is your spot. This is by far the busiest beach on the island with lots of opportunities to rent jet skis and have a few beers on the beach. It's home to the infamous Bangla Road, which is a mix of bars, nightclubs, and red light district. This is, however, the least family-friendly area of the island, so probably not the best choice with kids. For a much more upscale experience, Kamala Beach is a quiet atmosphere with luxury resorts and fewer crowds. It's home to some upscale restaurants and beach bars, which makes it a really nice place to stay, but not ideal for budget travelers. A beach that offers good middle ground between Patong and Kamala is Kata Beach, which has a fairly relaxed vibe with a decent nightlife that's not quite as over the top as Patong. What I like about Kata is that there's plenty to do on the beach with snorkeling spots, a surf school, and a few bars and restaurants right there. Less crowded than Patong, but still lively, Karon Beach has a long stretch of sand with beautiful views and a relaxed atmosphere, with restaurants and shops nearby. And if you're looking for something with a less touristy vibe, there are plenty of other beaches to stay on, including Bang Tao, Nai Han, Rawai, or Palmo Cape. These areas have a lot less on them in terms of bars and restaurants, but give you the chance to get away from the crowds. Each beach offers something different, so pick the one that aligns with your experience to get the perfect holiday. Another major mistake most tourists make when visiting the island is sticking to the area just around the hotel. There is so much to explore on this island, and you could spend months exploring it all. The following sections are all about the areas that most tourists actually miss out on. Some of Phuket's best beaches are hidden away from the busy resorts and main roads. If you're looking for a more adventurous, peaceful experience, exploring these hidden beaches is a must. Taking a long-tail boat to these lesser-known areas gives you a chance to soak up the island's natural beauty in a quieter, more intimate setting, away from the crowded Patong or Kata Beach. Unlike the main beaches where hotels and restaurants line the shores, these hidden beaches offer untouched scenery, stunning snorkel opportunities, and a more natural setting, making them the perfect escape. Here are a few beaches to explore. There's Freedom Beach, Paradise Beach, Ao San, Yanoi, and Palmo Cape. But whilst these beaches on Phuket are beautiful, some of the most breathtaking spots are just a boat ride away. Here's what you need to know about the top island hopping tours on Phuket. If there's one iconic tour you've probably already heard of, it's the Phi Phi Islands. This tour takes you by speedboat across the Andaman Sea to experience some of the bluest waters you'll ever see. You'll visit the world-famous Maya Bay, Monkey Beach, and Emerald Lagoon. But here's the catch. Phi Phi is one of the furthest destinations, so prepare for a long bumpy ride in a noisy speedboat. But if you want gorgeous beaches and snorkeling spots with much less travel time, check out Ratchayai and Coral Islands. These islands are much closer to Phuket, giving you a lot more flexibility in how you travel. You can get there quickly by speedboat, enjoy a more traditional experience with a long-tail boat, or even go all out and book a luxurious yacht or catamaran. And if you're looking for something more adventurous, the Phang Nga Bay tour is unbeatable. This trip includes incredible limestone cliffs, mysterious sea caves, and even a stop at James Bond Island and the floating village of Koh Phangan. This trip is a blend of sightseeing, kayaking, and snorkeling, and you can experience some of the most beautiful spots in the country. But where is the best street food on the island of Phuket? Well, if you're looking for it, you're going to have to head inland a little bit. There is one part of the island that is home to a number of Michelin-recommended street food vendors, and it's a food paradise. More than that though, it's the historic center of the island, and you can go there to visit the beautifully painted buildings and stunning temples. This is the historic Old Town, and I recommend getting there early in the day because some of the street food vendors close in the early afternoon. There's also a number of different temples to explore too. But the last thing you want to happen to you on your trip is to lose all your money, get arrested, or even end up in hospital. Occasionally things go wrong at Phuket, so it's important to keep your wits about you. One of the most common scams on the island is the jet ski scam. This scam involves renting a jet ski on one of the beaches for an hour or so, but when you return it to the sellers, they claim it's dented or damaged, and they'll force you to pay for the damages. Whenever you rent any vehicle on the island, whether that be a jet ski, a scooter, or a car, always make sure to take a few pictures of the condition first. Although not a scam, it's easy to get overcharged for taxis on the island. Many drivers might suggest a higher fare or even refuse to use the meter, especially in the busy tourist areas. The taxi app Grab, which I use around the rest of Thailand, is actually banned in Phuket, making it difficult to get around. Luckily, there's another app that works just as well, and it's called InDrive. This app will let you order a ride and pay in cash once you've arrived, and this is much safer than the alternative. Last year, 33 foreign tourists died in scooter or motorbike accidents on the island, and there are weekly news stories about people getting seriously injured. If you don't wear a helmet, not only are you more likely to get seriously hurt, but it also means your medical insurance won't cover you. Some tourists end up with medical bills in the tens of thousands of dollars. Thailand is the most dangerous country in the world to ride a scooter or a motorbike, so be careful when doing so. If you're like me, you're fascinated by Thailand's amazing wildlife, there are plenty of opportunities to interact with elephants, tigers, and monkeys. But not all of these animals are well looked after, and it's important not to do anything that might harm them. For elephant sanctuaries, avoid places that offer elephant riding as an activity because it hurts the animals. Instead, visit genuine sanctuaries like Phuket Elephant Sanctuary, where elephants roam freely and visitors can feed or bathe them respectfully. Luckily, unethical elephant sanctuaries are disappearing on the island. There are places on the island that offer you the opportunity to take a photo of a tiger, but does that really sound like a good idea to you? If a tiger is willing to sit there and take a selfie with you without ripping your face off, it's probably been drugged up to its eyeballs. But one thing that I didn't know until recently is that Phuket is actually one of the rainiest places in Thailand, and the last thing you need is for your trip to be ruined by rain and thunderstorms. So when is the best time to visit the island? Phuket's rainy season runs from May to October, and while it doesn't mean raining non-stop, it does mean you'll probably experience a few heavy downpours, often out of nowhere. I remember the first time I experienced a Thai thunderstorm, and I wasn't prepared for how heavy the rain would be. Luckily, it should only last a few hours at most. The best time to visit the island is between November to April, because that's when it's least likely for it to rain, giving you the sunny beaches you've always dreamed of. However, traveling at this time also presents some challenges of its own. One thing I've learned is that Phuket is home to some of the most luxurious resorts in Thailand, but they're also among the most expensive. If you're not careful about timing, you could end up paying way more than you need to. In fact, I've seen some hotel rooms go for 5 times the price of what they usually are. By far, the most expensive time to visit is the period between Christmas and New Year. This is when prices go up the most. I've recently helped a lot of my clients book around Christmas period, and it is tricky to find the best deals on the island. Even if you only have the option to visit Thailand over the Christmas period, prices don't seem to go up quite as much as in other locations in Thailand, so it might be worth visiting Krabi or Koh Lanta at that time and spending time in Phuket either before or after Christmas. Another pricey season is April, around the Songkran festival, when Thai tourists flock to the island and travelers from all over come to experience the water throw festivities. But no matter what time of year you're visiting, there are still a few things you can do to avoid overpaying. If you're heading to Phuket during the busy season, November or April, aim to lock in your hotel at least 3 to 6 months ahead. This way you're more likely to snag a good rate before prices shoot up as demand spikes. Also, and I don't always recommend this unless you are certain, but booking hotels with non-refundable rates can sometimes cut the price as much as half. If you are certain that you won't change your plans, this might be the best option for you. But all of this means nothing though if you don't have a plan for once you arrive. Check out this video to find out how to fit in all the best of what Phuket has to offer in one 3-day itinerary.